Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How is everyone this afternoon? My God, I didn't expect such a full house. I was told there was going to be a handful of people. This is not a handful, this is a full house. It's really nice to be here with you this afternoon. So let me start by thanking the organizers of the meeting, particularly Ezra and another people who is here as well, people who sort of nudged me to make sure that I do come and participate with you and share some thoughts. Back then, we were very passionate about the work that we do. We believed in this sector. We were angry about certain things that were happening in the country. 1989 wasn't a good time for those of you who were around at that time. It was the era of sort of one-party dictatorship, so any kind of criticism, we had a government that was very allergic to any kind of criticism. In fact, in those days, the word civil society was a bad word. So in some ways, there are similarities that the government is concerned about some of the things that we are doing, and therefore wants to control. I use the word very cautiously, control, because there is an element of what I have seen in terms of the amendments that have been proposed to the bill. One of the big differences between where we are here today and where we were in 1989, 1990, and I still can't believe it's 25 years ago. So that was the beginning of this talk about a new constitution, reforming the Kenyan constitution so that it was a people's constitution, so that it was a constitution that recognized the sovereignty of people and the power of people, respected human rights and all sorts of basic rights, and so forth and so on. So that's part of the history there. And so the strategy then was also a little different. Reason why we made some strides, despite the fact that the NGO Coordination Act of 1990 did have its faults. You should have seen the one that preceded the NGO Coordination Act. That one was completely bad. It's completely bad. It was just so openly determined to take full control of the sector. So we had a common enemy at that time, and so we mobilized the sector, which wasn't easy, and I can sense already that, again, as a sector, we are not as cohesive as we need to be. If you're fighting these battles, you need to be cohesive. That's the first thing I want to say here. So if you don't remember anything else that I say the rest of this afternoon, for this group of people, a handful of leaders who are really cohesive, between 1989 and 1990, I think we convened, Ezra, you can correct me, I think we convened about 12 meetings, bringing people. You know, you call people together, you raise these issues, you say there is a concern. Something is about to happen here, we need to come together, we need to respond to it, we need to manage it. And you get a group like this, but I bet you anything, if we called another meeting tomorrow and we opened it up to people and said we're having a meeting to talk about the PBO Act, it would be a completely different set of people who would come to that meeting. And so what we did is, over a period of about 1 year, the 10, 11, 12 meetings that we had, in fact, if I'm not correct, one of the best meetings that we had, somewhere in the middle of it all, was right here at the Pan-African Hotel back then. And the idea was to continue talking, continue raising awareness about what the situation was, what the threat was. So we have a responsibility to safeguard each and every one of us, 45 million Kenyans, to protect what we have gained over the last 20, 25 years in terms of this now new, it's no longer new, Constitution of 2010.